At the FayWhat show, we want to introduce you to interesting people who are so important to our LGBTQ plus community. This morning, I present to you an interview with one such influential queer trailblazer, Allen Martello. So Allen is the ED of the OUTshine Film Festival, one of the nation's premier LGBTQ plus film festivals, celebrating diverse voices and bold storytelling. Welcome to the FayWhat show, Allen.
Hey.
How are you, honey?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. I love this little outfit. What's going on here? Like, I don't know whether to milk you or like suck on your titty.
Well, you know, I woke up like this today. You know, sometimes you gotta sleep like a polar bear. But no, there's no hibernating right now. We've been a little bit too busy because it is OUTshine season.
It is OUTshine season. Oh my God, can you believe it? Folks at home, I know that you have been to the OUTshine Film Festival. How many years has OUTshine been here now?
Oh gosh, I think we're going into year 27.
Are you serious?
Yeah, almost 30 years
wow.
of queer storytelling in South Florida.
Wow. So me and Allen, we met last year, right? We met last year when you were contracted by OUTshine to oversee the transition to being a consecutive film festival. And by what I mean by that is that OUTshine Film used to have a Miami week and then would have a Fort Lauderdale week on 2 different times of the year. And then last year, you folks came up with the incredible idea to do it back to back. And you trailblazed that. You made that happen. I mean, like, tell me a little bit about how that came to pass.
Yeah, so this was, and I love taking credit. However,
a la Mark Gilbert.
However, let's do a little shout out here. Mark, I'm going to say this. Write it down. It's recorded. This was an idea that Mark Gilbert had been trying to pitch for some time, right? But this is a lot of work.
Okay.
This is a lot of work. Essentially, instead of running 2 film festivals a year, OUTshine is really running 4 film festivals a year, right?
Wow.
Because we open in one community, we close in the other. That means all new venues. That means all new parties, new everything, right?
New vendors, new everything.
Yes, we double down on our big spotlight night. So in the fall, as you mentioned, we opened it here in Fort Lauderdale and we closed in Miami. What we'll do on April 17th is we'll open in Miami. We will go all the way through to Centerpiece. Something new we're doing this particular year is we're going to do the Centerpiece event. Ready for this? Closer to the center of our communities.
Go figure!
Right? At Dania Point, hoping to bring those communities together, right? So everybody needs to get out their passports, cross that county line. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we will close out here in Fort Lauderdale.
I love that idea. Now, okay, see, one of my hashtags is Wilton Miami Girl, right? Because I'm one of the few people that like go, Allen too, though. Allen will be in Miami. He'll be in Wilton. He'll be in Fort Lauderdale. He'll be anywhere. You give him a gay party in Cutler Bay, he's going, right? So, but not everybody's like us.
Yeah.
Okay, people love to stay in their little bubble, and there's nothing wrong with that, folks. I totally get it. But you want to explore, and Miami's right there. And Miami, folks, Wilton is right there. Fort Lauderdale is right there.
I was that girl. I was that girl, right? I live in Miami Beach. I like the beach, you know?
Yep.
I was like, cross a bridge.
Yeah.
But once you do it, and you get out there, guys, ladies, there's a whole new world on the other side of the bridge, on the other side of the county line. And one of the things we're doing at OUTshine is we're trying to do that. And look, in the fall, you know, we had over 30% in Miami for people from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
That's like 10 times what I expected.
Yes.
Because again, it's like they went to another country. It's a lot of work.
No, but and it's not though, Allen. Stop saying that.
Well, but we think it is.
We think
it.
And yes, it really is. And yeah, okay, a lot of the streets in Miami are in Spanish. And yeah, people can't drive down there. And 95 is a freaking joke. But you might end up finding your freaking future partner in life.
Especially at OUTshine.
But that's what I'm saying. I've met couples that have met there, okay? That went to go see a movie with a friend. There was, there was a little after party kind of thing. They met somebody they liked. They went to future movies together and are still together to this day.
That's right. Why do you think I took the job? My fingers are still crossed.
Estúpido.
I learned at least 9 phrases in Spanish and ready to go.
And was one of them estúpido?
Estúpido was one of them. I would tell you the others, but I don't know the ratings of the show. I don't want to get us canceled by PBS.
Oh my God, you're hysterical. So, Allen, you've got a marketing background. You have helped many organizations in the past. Not a film festival, though. How did you get yourself prepared for that? I mean, because let me explain something to you folks at home. Allen is kicking serious butt. Okay, look him up, follow him on social media. The reason that you're hearing more about OUTshine is because of this new invigoration energy that is now OUTshine. You know, Mark paved the way and opened the door for this to happen, and Allen is bringing it in such a way. You know, but How?
We are. That's a great question. When you figure it out, no, I'm kidding. We are in a time right now, and I'll make this connection back to your question. But we are in a time right now where telling these stories is more important than ever, right? Outshine was created during a time in which telling these stories was scary.
Yeah.
Right. You go back 30 years, it was like, crap. How do we tell these stories? How secretive do we do it? People came to Outshine. They weren't out yet. They were afraid to be out.
Yeah.
It was a scary time, and I got to tell you. There are times right now where it's feeling a little too familiar for me, right?
Yes.
So us telling these stories and having a stage and a platform for these queer stories to be told is so incredibly important. My background in the nonprofit space is very marketing driven. It's very development driven and very event driven. And it's funny because when I first started working with Outshine, I was asked a very similar question by the board. Okay, cool. Nonprofits and you know fundraising, but you don't know film festivals. And you're not wrong. At the root of nonprofits and at the root of events, it's all the same thing anyway, right? I'm going to raise money and there's going to be sponsors and there's going to be these elements. In this particular case, because I'm not an expert in film festivals at all, love me some good gay films. I'm not talking about porn, everybody calm down. But
that's OnlyFans, that's not us.
That's why I have, no, I'm kidding. So at the end of the day, I have this phenomenal staff at Outshine that are experts in this space. Our director of programming, Joe, this is what he does.
Joe is like a movie genius.
Yes.
Okay, he is a movie nerd.
Yep.
And understand that when I use the word nerd, it is never in a derogatory way. It is a beautiful spotlight. I am attracted to nerds. My wife is a nerd. I love nerds.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And Joe is that. I think I've only met Joe in person once because I'm always talking to him on Zoom and when we're talking about the movies. And that man has seen them all.
Yes, he screens over 2,000 films a year.
Holy crap.
Narrows it down. We have a team, of course, of volunteers that help us narrow it down for each community.
There's a screening committee. I know that Dino Mosqueda, he's going to be on our show next week. We're going to be talking about Spanish films. I know that he's on that committee, right?
Yeah. So he runs the one in the spring. Jim Labrie, who's our board treasurer, runs the one in the fall. And it takes a lot of work. 2,000 films a year get narrowed down to the 130 or so that we actually show over the course of a year. Alexis Bush.
Alexis is the joint.
Almost as long as Mark.
Alexis is the joint. Okay,
years.
Alexis, you're awesome.
Yes, but that's the she's our marketing, our operations expert. That's the team that makes this happen. Why are they so important? That way I can go and focus. We brought in Jason Cobian, Jasmine Price Lord joined our team a few months ago this year, and again. The Alexis and the Joe and even Mark's expertise is what allows Jason and I to go and do the things that really get us this kind of attention. It makes it loud about Outshine again, working with new vendors and new partners and new sponsors.
And that gets all of us excited. We are event lovers in LGBTQ+. And let's remind people that it's not just for LGBTQ+, it's for our allies as well. You want to get educated, these movies do that for you in a simple way, in a comedic way, in a documentary way, however you want to eat it up. It's there for you. Yeah,
you can learn, you can laugh, you can cry. Sometimes you laugh and you cry at the same time.
At the same time.
It's a whole experience. And the lineup we have this year is just beautiful.
Well, so let's talk about kicking it off. We're kicking it off at the Regal South Beach. I love the Regal South Beach. We were worried that we were going to lose it. I'm so glad that we didn't because it's a wonderful space right at the top of Lincoln Road and Alton Road. They've got adjacent parking, super easy. Yes. So we're kicking off Outshine with Swift Horses starring Jacob Elordi.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Did you know that
Saltburn.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And did you know that people are infatuated with his feet? That's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a feet person.
Any piece of him is fine. I don't.
Okay.
He's so hot. Okay, look at him. He's so freaking cute.
He's so freaking hot.
Yeah, he's so cute. And he did that photo shoot for his last film where he's in the little underwear.
Yes. But I love, that's a great way to kick off.
Yes, it's a really, really cool film. It's a fun film. We look at a number of things when we say it's opening night, right? And we want opening night to be just amazing, right? We want it to be loud and fun. So we're at the Regal. We've got this great, super popular film. The reviews are fantastic. People are loving it. Hot guys. It's funny. It's got some great lessons in it. And then we're going to go to the venue at the Rum Room, which is attached to the Miami Beach Convention Center, and we are going to have one hell of a party.
Oh, I love that. And that's right there. It'll take you 2 minutes to get
right
there.
It's quick, it's easy. Yep, Cece Glitzer is our host for the night.
I love Cece. Yep. Oh my God, the German sensation. Don't play with her. She's amazing. So I've loved film festivals forever. I'm from New York, Tribeca. I love Fort Lauderdale Film Festival down here. Outshine has always been my baby just because the queer stories are important to me, obviously, right? But your parties really set you apart from other film festivals, from my seat, okay? And with this new programming, I mean, I've been hearing about that, like we're elevating these events to kind of like mini galas.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're theming them. We're really focused. You know, we have a Latin Spotlight film. We should have a Noche Latina party.
Yes.
Right? Josefina de los Globos is going to be there.
Nice.
Michael from Brazil. And we're going to have this really, really fun party on the Twisted Tonic rooftop. And it's going to be great. Because here's what I have to do, right? I'm going to give you guys the secret. Don't tell anybody, okay? I think that we grew up saying, how do we watch queer film, right? Is it different? I think that other people didn't. They could turn on Netflix and watch Red, White, and Royal Blue and Love, Simon and all of these really great shows.
Yeah.
That I remember, Get Real was the first queer film I ever watched. It was on a VHS tape. I'll explain to you kids what that is later. And I hid it from my parents, right? Because I was 16, 17 years old. And you had to wait till there was 2 hours and you had to... So helping our community understand why come watch film in a theater like this, why do it. One, we say film is much more fun with friends. But two, boy, do we know how to party.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes, particularly with our lady community.
Hey, ladies. Hey, Jennifer.
We have to trick them into coming to see the movie, right? Because they want to come to a really kick-ass party.
Yes.
So, you know, we do this like very specific thing. A lot of other festivals, you can buy a party ticket and a movie ticket. We don't do that, right? If you want to know how to get into the party, you got to come to the film. And you know what happens is they thank us, right? People say, I wouldn't have done this on my own.
Wow.
Right? Because I didn't think, oh, why would I go watch a gay movie? I can catch it on Netflix. I can catch it on Amazon or whatever. And then they come and they have this great experience because you're in a theater with 100 plus, 200 of your closest friends and allies. And it just makes for a different experience.
It really does. It really does.
So then you come to a kick-ass party. And let me tell you, we're going to feed you. And if you walk away sober, that was a choice. Because we want you to have fun. We want you to dance.
Yes.
We want you to like, have a great time.
And we're surprised if you walk away sober, just
That's
to
right.
let you know.
That's
You know, from the girls' standpoint, right, there's not a lot of girls representation when it comes to parties. There's parties, of course, and we've got them, but not as many as the gay boys, right? And OUTshine really makes it a point to spotlight the women's films, to spotlight the women's shorts that are hysterical every year. And like a lot of us have the attention span of a gnat. So sometimes those shorts come in really handy, right? Because I could just take for
That's all
10
you can
minutes.
take at one time.
It's all I can take. But a lot of these girls will come for the party, like Alan said, and then be like, oh, wait a minute, there's a movie involved? Okay. And then they'll come back. They'll come back, you know?
They really like it and they enjoy it. And like, you know, we just, again, we live in a time where it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So putting us together, staying strong. I will tell you, we're doing something really, really cool for our Ladies Spotlight. Remember, it's like running 2 festivals. So we'll have a men's and ladies spotlight in Miami, and we're going to do it again in Fort Lauderdale. In Fort Lauderdale, we are creating kind of our own little block party, right? So the men's and ladies films will be different. The parties will run concurrently, one at the Well and one at Lit. Which
Right next door. So they can hang out in the courtyard right there.
So that we can kind of mix and mingle. Our ladies that want to just be with ladies can do that, right? We know that's a thing. But occasionally there's lesbian that likes us gay boys and they want to come hang out with us.
Of course.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really mix and mingle. We're going to have a great time.
And that comes back to your platform of being inclusive. You know, Allen is all about being inclusive. OUTshine is about being all inclusive. They always have been, right? But this is also a way to merge folks. Like, the times that we're in right now with you know who, right, at the helm, if we don't start unifying, we are in deep shit, okay? Let's be completely real and true. And so doing things like saying, no, we're going to have the Broward people and the Miami people meet in Dania. That's amazing. You know, having the girls at the Well and the boys at Lit and saying, hey, we all have our common ground in the parking lot and let's hang out. Yeah. That's how you unify people.
That's the story we have to be. We have to be telling a story of togetherness and unity. If you look at all of the marketing this year, the kind of underlying theme, everything says unapologetically queer on it, right?
Yeah.
And this is our way of saying, you know, we're here, we're queer.
We're queer.
But we want to tell these stories. We want to keep providing a platform. We're working with our community partners closer than ever right now to say, let us give you a platform, right? Come and tell your story at OUTshine.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have this safe space that we are working to you know, keep safe and expand and grow for generations to come.
And you do it so well. And it keeps on getting better and better. And, you know, something about queer films is that we want to see ourselves on screen, right? At the end of the day, we just want to see ourselves on screen.
Of course. Right?
You know, that's all we've ever wanted,
that's
right? You know, like we saw Bugs Bunny in a dress and we're like, oh my God, that's us. You know what I mean? Because that's all we had.
Right. Absolutely. But it's like, we can know for certain that from April 17th to April 27th, you can walk into movie theaters across both counties and you can see people that look like us, think like us, act like us, talk like us, and be surrounded by that community as well, which is support. It is fun, right? Because if you just have fun,
you have
can
fun.
do anything that's fun. I'll go to a party in Collet Bay if I'm going to have fun, right?
Yes.
So we want to do that. We want to bring that fun. We want you to laugh with us, cry with us, learn with us. And it's going to be a hell of a good time.
And you get to network, you know, also. But there's something about, you know, again, we were raised by watching movies at home, right? Yeah, okay. But there's something about watching a film at the theater. There's something about gasping at the same time that everybody at your row gasps. There's something about getting a joke that maybe somebody else didn't, right? Like, you know what I mean? There's something about that vibe. Yeah. And then when you walk out and you talk to people that you don't even freaking know, and you're like, oh, that part. That is that kind of, that unification that I'm telling you about, you know?
And the big screen.
On the big screen.
Sometimes size does matter.
We're size queens. You know we're size queens. But speaking of that, okay, so April 17th is the kickoff to April 24th, but then at home.
So April 24th is our move date. So April 17th, we open in Miami. The 24th is our center event at Dania Point. That's our together. Of course, you can come down to Miami from Fort Lauderdale.
Of course.
And vice versa. But that center event at Dania Point at the Regal with a big party. We're taking over the terrace at Bolero.
Love it.
Again,
I love Bolero.
It's going to be so much fun.
And then 24 to 27.
24 to 27 in Fort Lauderdale. Right? We will close on the 27th at the Savor Cinemas.
I love the Savor Cinema. Oh, my God. Film, old school. Love it.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I love that theater.
I love it. The film For Mothers is just beautiful, right? I told a group of our big donors yesterday, I said, I'm not sure, I remember the last time that I laughed and cried at the same time. It's just such a beautiful, we're going to have a great party there afterwards. And then Outshine at Home will run for the following week, where you can watch select films at home screened direct to your devices, your TV, your Roku, whatever. And you can find all that at outshinefilm.com.
Okay, there you go. All right. So, personally, let's get some personal stuff out of Allen now, all right? Mr. Executive Director. How long have you been Executive Director now? What? 3 days? How long?
Pretty much. February 1st.
It feels like...
I'm hiding in my bear now. So, of course, I worked with Outshine in the fall under a management contract. And it's kind of like, it's kind of dating, you know? We got to hang out, we got to do stuff. We said, hey, we like each other, right? Yeah. So we worked out the details in January with the transition. February 1st, I officially became the guy, and I've been loving it. You know, I was a nonprofit guy in Western Pennsylvania. I'm a Pittsburgh boy. I know. I speak such good Spanish. You don't know it.
He doesn't.
I don't.
He doesn't.
She says estúpida. That's all she says. That's all I understand.
That's all I kept on calling him was estúpida, and not even estúpido.
No, estúpida.
Estúpida.
But yeah, I was a Chamber of Commerce guy. I was a nonprofit guy. I worked in development for universities.
Pennsylvania. Do you miss the cold? No, right? Because I don't at all. No, I just visited my parents in Scranton a couple of weeks ago, and I could have done without.
Yeah,
I could have just seen them on the screen.
I remind my family that I live in paradise, and if you would like to see this, come down. You can sleep on my couch.
Then you come here.
Right.
You're single and you love to dance.
I do. I love to dance, and I don't know. I think this is part of.
Is that the reason you're single? Because you love to dance?
No, I think it goes the other way. Actually, right?
Okay, tell me.
Right. I think that it kind of became my outlet. You know, I was in a relationship for 10 years. Loved him. Will always love him. You know how it goes. But it was like my way of like finding myself again. It's just getting out there and just dancing.
Yeah.
Nothing like cute. I'm not good at it. You know, I wear a bear costume to hide all this. But at the end of the day, it's just fun. You get out there, you just be yourself.
Let go.
Let go. It's
and there's
something
about a gay party that like you can dance crazy. It doesn't matter. No one looks at you oddly. Some people might join you. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
exactly
it's just really what it is.
Yeah.
Like I saw you at Winter Party, and it was your first time at Winter Party, right? Hello to Kathy Renna and the task force and all you folks for everything that you do. Anyway, it was Allen's first Winter Party, and that fool was in the middle of 5,000 boys living his best life.
My best
like
living
his. I mean, it was like.
Yep.
Like, and this was just it for like 3 hours.
Yes. Yes. It was like that, you know?
It was like that.
And you just go and you just dance and have fun.
What is a turn off for you now that you're dating, right? What is a turn off for you? Is there like something that like, you know, oh, no, there's no way. I can't go past this.
Yeah. You know, I feel like every relationship you have, right, you should take something from.
Of course.
Right? And I think if I've learned anything, it is communication is so important, right? So you know, at the end of the day, I think there's so much room when you're attracted to somebody to like give and take on those things, right? Everyone has a type. Well, I need you to be this tall, or I need you to be blonde, or I need you to be dark. I think those things matter less when you have like a natural connection with somebody. And but gosh, that like number one, and this is so nerd, boner killer for Allen.
Okay.
Bad communication.
Bad communication.
Maybe it's just because I'm all grown up now, but like, it's like, just talk to me. That's sexy. Talk to me, be honest, right?
Listen, I understand when a freaking 2-hour meeting could have been an email. Okay? I understand that. Okay? But on the other side, if I ask you how you're doing and you say fine, then I'm going to continue with my day thinking that you're fine. Yep. I don't want to play the games. Right. I don't have time for that shit. Yep. I'm too old for that.
That's what all the time. You know I just turned 36. Like, I'm too old.
You know what I mean? It's not, you're not too old, but I get it. You know what I mean? Like at this point, you've had a 10-year relationship. You know what you don't want.
Right.
At this point, you know?
And I'm dancing to figure out what I do.
And you're dancing to figure out what you do. You're also going to write a fantasy fiction novel.
Yes, I've been writing.
In what spare time are you going to do that?
Well, that's why I'm only on chapter 11.
Oh, okay. Damn.
My mother calls and yells at me. She watches this later. I promise, chapter 12 is coming. Because she wants to read more.
Okay.
But this was a project I started during COVID.
Oh, okay.
Where I was able, luckily, I worked for university. I worked from home. There was a lot of extra free time because, you can't
go anywhere.
Yeah. So I started, and I just really, I made it a priority last winter, right, over Christmas and things like that, to try and get to chapter 10. I'm trying to write 30 chapters, but it's all kind of might and magic and science. And it's either going to be a big flop or a big hit. We'll see.
All right. So if it's a big hit, can you name one of the characters FayWhat?
I'll think about it. The question is, what kind of character do you want to be?
Oh, I don't know.
You know?
I don't know. Somebody badass,
hero,
of course.
Villain?
No, it got to be a villain. I root for the villains. Isn't that crazy?
Right.
Like, I don't want the killer to get caught. There's something wrong with me. All right.
I have ideas already.
I love it. I kill people with my boob. Boom, boom.
Not the laser boob.
Not the laser boob. So, Allen, here at the FayWhat Show, we always want to learn more about our leaders, right? And now that, you are the ED of this incredible nonprofit film festival that we all love and adore, welcome. Right? Okay, welcome. And we're going to work you to the bone. And you might hate some of us, but then you're going to love us. That's just how it goes, right? And this is a way for our viewers to learn more about you. So it's called Say What with FayWhat. And basically, I give you two options, like black or white. And you say?
Black.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Dog or cat?
Ooh, dog.
White Lotus or Severance?
Ooh, Severance.
Sandwich or wrap?
Ooh, sandwich.
Podcast or music in the car?
Music in the car.
Pickleball or tennis?
Ooh, tennis.
Asking someone to dance or waiting to be asked to dance?
Oh, asking, always.
Grinder or Sniffies?
Ooh, grinder.
Wicked or Captain America?
Oh, not fair. Oh. Wicked America.
The Wicked America.
Wicked America. I'm a big Marvel fan.
New phone or new pair of shoes?
Ooh, new phone.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Lady Gaga or Adele?
Ooh, Lady Gaga.
Madonna or Janet Jackson?
Ooh, Madonna.
Botox or buttocks?
Ooh. Buttocks.
Morning sex or night sex?
Ooh, both.
Walks on the beach or being at Twist at 2 a.m.
Oh, I do know Twist at 2 a.m.
Me too.
That's happened a few times.
Right? You probably left Twist at 2 a.m. to go do the walking on the beach. And that would be the perfect night. I'm just saying.
Right.
Donut or cupcake?
Donut.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
Documentary film or drama?
Drama.
Thriller or comedy?
Comedy.
Yes! Look into that camera and give them your best FayWhat!
FayWhat!
There you go. OUTshine Film Festival begins April 17th. Please follow Allen Martello and also OUTshine Film Festival on all social media outlets. Allen is at Instagram at Allen J. Martello. On Facebook, he's also on there as well, and OUTshineFilm.com. Get your tickets. It's going to be a great time, right?
That's it.
That's
it. We're going to watch great films. We're going to have great parties. And we are going to be unapologetically
queer. Yes.